Team number 4.
I'm not blocking you. It's so short, so.
Good morning, everyone.
There's my door.
Somebody took a door off my office.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Chris. Cynthia, Crystal, Alvaro. The name of our project is Movie Ticket Monitoring System, abbreviated for MTMS. And we want to thank our advisor, Victor, for helping us out through the project. And so, have you ever realized that when you enter a theater, there's a long process before you actually get to sit down into a cinema? So our project design is basically helping out this current system be a more smoother and more efficient way. Today's system in a movie, you have to enter a cinema, you have to wait in one line to purchase a non-reusable paper ticket. From that, you have to go another ticket monitor to verify your ticket purchase. And from there, you have to enter your cinema door. And there's also an implemented security system where a security guard has to basically guess what theater you belong to and make sure you don't enter someone else's showing. So through this system, there's a lot of flaws, and it's very basic in level of technology in today's world.
So our proposed system will take care of the whole waiting time. So we're proposing here to to speed up the whole system from the time that you purchase the ticket to the time that you enter the theater. We wanted to do it as fast as possible, such as the system that the subway in New York uses. There is like thousands of people who use the subway, and there is a lot of people waiting for the trains. But at the beginning, when they enter, you will rarely see a line forming to enter the subway, and that's because it's fast. They just swipe the card and they get in, and they use turnstiles. So that's our main goal. We're trying to do a system that would be smooth and fast, so there is no waiting in line. And
It also actually acts as a security system as well. So based on our system, because of our system allows locking of doors, our system only access grants to a specific person who purchases a ticket. So because of the RFID technology we're allowed only access grants only to one specific card.
also, the fact that the tags are recyclable, that makes our system even cheaper. We can use the tags as many times as we want, and we're designing the system to have a bin outside of the theater, so the customers, after watching the movie, would put it in there. It's just like how they recycle the 3D glasses, so it would make it a whole lot cheaper and better for the environment.
To have this smooth transition, we'll be using a UHF passive tag. RFID tag technology has risen to become a revolutionary element in technology. It's not just a replacement for barcodes. If you haven't seen lately, now you see credit cards, clothes, and the Easy Pass now has RFID tags. They are very inexpensive. They start from 10 cents to most $1. Also, the security on RFID tags, they're not hackable because each tag has their own identification, so people can't change anything on there if they wanted to. Also, it allows easy access without any discrepancy or errors when using the tag.
So this is how basically our system works. This is a block diagram. So when you approach your RFID tag close enough to the RFID reader, the RFID reader will get the unique ID from the tag, and I will send it to the A-Tiny2313 microcontroller. In the microcontroller, it will compare the tag that the customer has with the tag in the system. When the two tags matches, it will send a signal to the big microcontroller that will then display the words access granted to the LCD. If the tag does not match with the tag in the system, the words in the LCD would be room 1 locked. And if the access is granted, then it will send a signal to the electronic lock and the door will unlock. We also have a user interface which is a push button. The push button will be located inside of the room, and when someone wants to use the bathroom or purchase popcorn or something, they can push that button and they can exit the room.
For the business plan, we figured to get this off of the ground and being successful, instead of trying to sell it ourselves, we will sell it to or partner up with GE or Samsung. Since these companies work with everything from home goods to automobiles, we figured we use their resources and to make our prototype and different types of prototypes. Since a simple door would be okay, but since we're really trying to implement turnstiles, one person at a time could go only, our resources and funds wouldn't allow that. And also us partnering with them, it will allow us to use their name and make a lot of people want to get into the product. We will also sell to chain like Bowtie or AMC. Since they're chains, they'll get off the floor easier because the fact that it's more than one and they're in different states and they're everywhere. These companies have competition. So if one movie theater gets it, the other movie theater is going to compete with them and get it, and that will help our product to sell better. We propose this system in general because if we were to try to sell each one individually, each door individually would cost a lot of money just for one door. So if we partner with them, their money, they're going to buy them in bulk and help the movie theater itself, to make it cheaper. It will be inexpensive for them to partner with them, and inexpensive for the movie theater itself.
Well, seeing that our system is very cheap, it's more productive, has a higher efficiency rate. Our system is pretty ideal for any theater to actually implement in their system. Using RFID technology, it allows for a security system to not allow let's say one person enters a theater he purchased, and then from that theater he goes and sees another movie just by entering through the other door, due to the fact that security can't know what movie you actually belong to. Well, we eliminate that problem just by using RFID, because we can actually know where you're entering, and that door will only allow access for your purchased movie. So with that, our system is also very compatible to different styles of doors and also different styles of purchasing methods. For example, you can actually purchase your ticket, which we can apply our configuration to a kiosk in the system. So essentially, we don't even need any employees actually working for a theater. We can actually remove 3 employees or even more from actually doing anything, because they're pretty much just checking. So RFID technology helps us with that. A couple future plans would also be a monthly membership. So the cards can also be used to purchase more than one ticket at a time. So today you can't purchase a ticket, and I want to purchase a ticket for tomorrow's showing because they're not posted yet, they're not ready yet. But with this, we can purchase a ticket and say I want to purchase 5 tickets, but I don't know when I'm going to come see I don't know when I'm actually going to see the movie. I want to be able to just walk in and just go sit right into your seats.
So you may be wondering, how does this work? We got a lot of questions from our last couple presentations saying, well, what happens when you buy a ticket and somebody else wants to come in behind you? So what we decided to implement was turnstiles, which you mentioned. The turnstiles will allow a person to go in one way, and when you want to leave, come out another way. Another person cannot follow behind you. This also helps with the fact that if you want to come out of the bathroom and you think you're going to let your friend in, well, your friend's going to go in the movie, but you can't get in the movie, one or the other. So what you would do is, you're going to see in our demo, once you purchase the ticket, the card, you only have to purchase the card. You don't have to go through the 3 lines like, oh, hi ma'am, go to the right or go to the left, and then once you're done with them, you have to go to another person and say, well, your movie theater is this is room 5, go down here. That's 3 people you have to go through. Once you purchase the ticket itself, you go straight, they let you know what the movie is, and you go straight there. You will then scan it by the door, and you'll be able to get in. We also had some questions saying, well, it's a fire hazard because you can't get back out. So we decided to implement a push button, which allows you to get out whether it's to use the bathroom or to buy popcorn or whatever. This we implemented a decrementer. So if 5 people buy a ticket for a movie theater, that's how many the door is gonna implement. It implements however many tickets are sold. So we're not gonna like set up 10 tickets, only 5 people get them. 5 people got the tickets because then I'll allow like easier access. So what we did is we actually have only 5 tags. So we implemented 3. We implemented 3. So we're gonna show you guys how only 3 people can get in, and if you want to use the bathroom, you can also leave to go to the bathroom, popcorn, and come back in without a person like coming behind you or you sneaking off or any other security issues.
Okay, so let's do that.
Mhm. To the- You guys can see it, right?
Well, you cannot see it, but in the quick board, it says the room and the number. In this case, it's room 1, and it says locked. So once you swipe the card, it says access unlocked. Okay, so because you put that-
Yes.
so right now the microcontroller is pre-programmed for 3 customers to get in. So they would go like
No,
this.
wait, you should have shown that the door is locked.
Oh, yeah, well,
The door is locked.
that was one person. Okay, that's locked. So that was one person. Then that's the second one. And it's locked again. And that's the third person.
With the
So-
system, it actually doesn't allow for anyone else.
You can try it for me. The
It
door.
doesn't lock.
So are you saying
So-
that when one person gets in, the other person has to wait till the?
Well, it's a turnstile.
turnstile.
This is just a prototype.
Okay.
So with a turnstile, it would allow.
Subway.
It's like the subway, so you don't even have to wait for a long period of time. And now let's say someone is inside and wants to buy popcorn or go to the bathroom. Right now it doesn't allow anyone to go inside, but if he goes out,
Oh, let's see back.
if you go out, you can go back in.
Does that mean in the middle of a movie, if I go out to use the bathroom, someone else can then take my spots?
Well,
Turnstiles.
well, the customer does not know how the system works, so he's not gonna know that you went out and then I can go in. Plus, there's no people
Yeah.
keeping track of who's going out. And
But
another,
it is a possible scenario.
it is possible, but it will
you would have to have the
decrement
card,
dramatically the amount of people sneaking into the
Yeah.
movie theaters.
Also, you can kind of think of like at amusement park when you go into the swim, like you buy amusement parks, you buy a pass, like you can go on the rides or you can go in the water, you can do one or the other. When you go into, they have the turnstile, so when you go into the water park, when you come out, you can't go back in that same way. Like the turnstiles will either let you go out once you let the release button go. So the only possible scenario for that to happen would be for somebody like to hop over, like it's just kind of obvious for you to hop over the turnstile or find a way to get through the turnstile.
It's also adaptable to different style turnstiles. I
Yeah.
mean, we can have the one where you just have a row. We can have a whole gate like the ones that they use in
Yeah.
the subway. So the system is adaptable to different ones. Because we use the relay switch, we could just simply, and it just lets out
Yeah.
output voltage. We can just connect that to any style door mechanisms that we chose. But we just chose a simple one so we can implement it and we can build it really simply. So, sure.
What's your question?
You mentioned that you guys are using ultra high frequency. What's
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're using RFIDs using passive tags, similar to your drone as well. Passive tags, we chose passive tags because they're cheap as well, and they also we don't need to send information back. We just need an access granted or access denied. Yeah, we just need that to.
They easily do not get damaged either. You can put this around water and we won't have a problem or anything like that compared to a bar strip or a
You're asking,
barcode
like,
where
how far you
they
can be through the door?
disappear.
I just wanted to know what frequency are you using.
Oh, that's
125.
125 kilohertz.
Kilohertz?
Yes.
It's also important to mention that our system is easier for employees to use it because you don't have to activate the card. So it's not something that you would have to train your team of employees to
hire a
use
computer
it.
scientist
Yeah.
to
So
sell a
it's-
ticket to.
It's very easy to understand the system.
Yeah, it's like when you go to a hotel and they just scan the card. Once you pay for it, it's already activated for you.
You had a question?
Yes. I saw in the block diagram you had two microcontrollers. Is just one of them is just for display? Is that a part of your design?
Well,
Is
At
it
that-
just for display? The pick
Yeah, it's just a display.
Just
It's
the
for
room
display.
number and the locked and unlocked and access.
But in your actual design, do you need two microcontrollers?
we
or
can
they're
use
two
one.
different?
The thing is, we use
You can
them.
use
Just to
one,
upload
yes.
one.
Yeah.
Sorry, because as Professor Abhilasha mentioned that, is it sequential or as a lot? How,
What do you mean?
The axis? Because in movie again, if you again have to wait in a queue, does it really work?
Yeah.
Okay, so have you been to a subway?
Yeah, subway is fine,
Yeah,
but
that's where we're trying to implement. Like
So
there's
only
no
one
wait time.
person
You
goes
go,
in at a time.
1,000 people use the subway like all the time, and it's like you don't see people waiting in line to go. So that's what we kind of implement.
It's a,
maybe
it's,
again, in future you can implement that because 10 people can possibly go.
This is just a prototype. That's why we were partner with GE or Samsung, which has the resources to help us. Like we only got $1,000, and the time wasn't the time constraint. So if we were to partner with them, they would be able to give us the resources to do so.
Yeah.
Any questions?
I have a question. So, I'm also in charge of the engineering 400, which has I probably asked you
Yes.
during the several times.
Yep.
So I have 250 students, so which is very hard to check the attendance. Is it easy to transfer your system to check the attendance
Yes.
quickly? I'm serious.
A database. All you need is a database.
Yeah, so-
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can the beginning of semester hand out the RFID card,
Yes.
which has the unique ID.
Yep.
So just read the ID. That if possible, you can actually connect with the Canvas.
Yeah.
So I think that probably Canvas are interested in such a thing.
Yes.
So is it difficult or the?
Yeah, a simple database will do that. We'll store a simple database storing all the tag numbers.
I don't need any the locking unlocking system.
Oh, no, no,
yeah,
no.
just
This is just
Yeah,
like to
just-
prevent access.
yeah. If
want
you are
people to get
interested in the, so I'm going to ask the department chair or the dean to fund this thing. So.
The only concern is that this system works, but if the tag, I mean, if I getting the tag for her, you won't be able to know that. Like it's just empty.
There might be bunch of different ways to check the settings. Like even sometimes hard to check the ID for the final exam. So I
Yeah.
believe that my students.
I think this will be a good implementation for your project.
Okay.
Yeah.
and even we have a
What
counter-
if sir? Can you have the multiple the RFID reader like the 4 or 5
Yeah.
on the table and
You can connect them all right here to the breadboard.
because that RFID reader has a one pin that sends the data to the microcontroller. So if you want to implement more RFID readers, you would have to put in more pins of the microcontroller
I just not
and then just do the programming.
Mhm.
And that would be.
I'm going to ask the dean of the program. I'm serious, really. It's one of the big problems.
I still think it's not, you have to be much more careful as far as spoofing it and having people carry multiple tags.
But that's better than nothing. Right now, sometimes we cannot check. The student, a pack of the student, the 200 students together, right, sign up.
Well, if you have so many students coming in, you probably don't have so many problems.
Okay. Any other questions or suggestion?
Any question? No?
Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you.
And the last, I thought that in case I don't think the faculty are comfortable to keep and hand over to me. So if you, when you submit it, why don't you contact me, CC to me, and I'm going to ask the Omar then to have the separate space on the basement, and at the time I will arrange. Okay.
Do you guys have video of this operation?
Did we record it?
No.
We recorded the action, not the door.
Okay,
We
I would
recorded
like
the
to have
system,
a
unlocking
video
and
of
unlocking.
what you just did.
Okay.
Okay, that's gonna be part of your project.
Okay.
Alright.
As, deliverable.
Yeah.
So regarding to the hardware stuff, especially your team, so CC to me, then I will arrange. To Omar, you don't have to go in the Julia's office. Instead, you can go to the basement and keep. Yeah.
You want everything like.
Yeah, it's a working
Right,
condition.
You,
Yes.
you don't want like the progress report or anything from last semester, like handed over. Or
Everything. For about the software part, it's okay. So you can submit it with the CD-ROM or the flash drive. But what I'm saying is the hardware stuff.
Yeah.
That so probably hard. Yes.
I'm not perfectly certain, but I believe that our project, we use some of our own components, or components from other projects that from our own
Uh-huh.
should we take those out, or should we leave the system as it is?
Yeah.
What do you think?
The
This is not all
microcontroller you use is Shakir's personal property or his partner's.
Well, I think-
not the property.
Which microcontroller are you specifically referring to?
Theo version 3.
On this one?
No, not that one. The one inside of our case.
And how much is that,
I don't know.
roughly?
I would assume it's only 30.
So maybe the department can compensate.
Yeah, sure.
If it's a small
Yeah, why
amount-
don't you? Yeah, why don't you? I think the Umar can help to the reimburse any the cost extra cost. You don't have to spend your own pocket. Okay.
Document the cost, so we can verify that.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Can you upload a?
Yep, you read that?
Yeah. So do you guys have the same thing?
Yeah, because the same thing with the
Can-
door.
Yeah. So you can reimburse it. Do you have the receipt? No, it's just a private. So
Yeah.
I will work with Umar to whether we can keep the compensate if you do not have a receipt, I will find a way. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes. Do you need? Yeah. Then.